Not perfect. Right, a what's it called? Perfect. Probably won't get anybody. I mean, it's freaking, what, 8:40? And I'm supposed to be in school, but I'm on Zoom because I got quarantine, but it's whatever. Frick. Turn it to full. Damn it. Just, oh shit, you fucking ass. Damn it. Actually, that's what I'm on right now.
Let me share my screen. Yeah. Did you take these notes? This is what we went over on Monday. Huh? Hey, I'll write this. Okay, this is what we went over on Monday in class. So you should have a topic sentence, a DTE sentence, and a complete sentence. So you're giving me title and author, and then 2 sentences of elaboration, and a concluding sentence. You're going to have 5 sentences total.
Miss Martin?
Yep.
Do you want us to write our constructive response on Lucy?
Yeah, on anything is fine. Anything's fine. Or if you want to, you can type. I mean, it's up to you. However you want to do it.
Wait, you said you're going to type?
You can type it. Mm-hmm.
About to fit. Picked up this Chop City. Oh, Nissan. It's out freaking ugly. I have that for my drift car. No, actually I don't. That's the GTR. Yeah, about a 50. Sneaked up this Chop City. Oh, I don't own a drift here.
Okay, you can, just so you understand, you can submit your constructed response. You can handwrite it, you can type it, but you're submitting it with all of the other scope work tomorrow. But it's up to you how you do it.
Got a 50. Sticked up this Chop City.
And I should be finished today. I will be finished today, grading everything from the 11 graphic and your 11 theme constructed responses that y'all submitted at the end of last week, and I'll have those grades posted. Any late work that has been sent to me, then I'll be able to get to that. But what takes precedent is the current work.
My car
So
is
if you're
large
wondering
and
why late work
professional.
hasn't been
Oh my
graded,
god.
it's because it's late.
Take to put a stick out and shoot. Oh, no, dude, that ain't what I have to do.
All right, any questions before we are finished for the day?
Nope.
We're going to go over those multiple choice questions for the quiz towards the beginning of class tomorrow. I'll give you a few minutes to finish those up before we go over them in class tomorrow. But remember, make sure you have that skills practice finished too, and we'll go over those answers in class before you submit. All right, y'all, if you come up with any questions and you need me, don't forget you can email me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of y'all's day.
Bye. Screw you, Miss Martin. When you next to me, girl, I'm trying to get to know you sexually. Take you on shopping trips for therapy. I know that'll take care of me. I swear on it, but it's something you can bear with me. Pretty girl with a gangsta. I swear they say that's in the room with no makeup. Say when I trying to change up. Oh, so I'm only so amazing. Love the way you smell. I'm addicted to your fragrance. Tears falling in this Lithuanian cup. All you really want is love. Oh sh! Go! Yeah. Man, I'm trying to get to know you sexually. No, this ain't my first swag for the fight everywhere. Here you go. Oh shit. Like fight night. Certified everywhere and got up in a resume take off. RIP the Nate dog, I had to regulate. Watching disintegrate. It's a truckload and I'm in the straight line. Your main beat and she wanna make it stay straight. Rich, never be a broke. I can never get along with him. Stand to the left. My rich stand. Is that another Ford Focus? Nah, that's a Honda Civic. Sting like a bee, rumble, rumble. Rich, on the left by yourself. Sunset, turn that roof on fire, call 911 like Wildcat. Oh, almost passed it up. Ooh, 139. 154. 156, that's a nice car. 156, that's the hottest I see. 155, yeah, I'm gonna get this 156. I don't deal with it. I know my mistake is the scribbles. Blah blah blah. Excuse me. To the left.
Where will you be when the revolution comes? We are the last stand against corporate tyranny.
I'll bring him choppers out, and then 6 out, 6 out. I'll bring the choppers out. I'll bring the sticks out. Oh no. Back to where it started. Live for the party. Ride with my heart is. So much what I want coming up. Real cool, ride with a drop dog. Broken heart. Broken heart. I like it. Rise for the party. Ride with my heart. So much what I want, and then when I say everything goes. Where it started. Die for the party. Ride with my heart. So much what I want, oh man, it's everything goes. On the road cool, ride around with a drop dog. Like some food. Oh. I know what you want me to do. I gotta decide how to stick it out for me. Ooh, ooh. Gotta decide how to stick it out for me. Gonna tell us all the truth. Nothing about you.
Good morning, third hour. We're starting in 4 minutes. We're starting in 4 minutes. Grab your workbook while we get ready here.
You want me to go?
Open up a panel, see what you see. Hey, Izzy, how are you doing? Yeah, like I said, my planning period is later, not in the morning. I've been teaching all morning.
Okay.
So, but I'll look at it this afternoon after our class.
Alright.
In fact, because I'm teaching all morning, sometimes I might show up 3 minutes before we start instead of 5. So it depends on what we do in second hour. So I have a full morning. I hit the ground running since early this morning. We can do it. We can do it. We can learn some stuff.
What you want me to do?
Develop our brains. Change and learn our thinking. I'm looking to do this. I'm going to see what you see. Is Jalen here? Jalen? Here we go. There we go. All right. Here we go. Got a bunch of... So we're going to start in 2 minutes. Thank you all for being here. And I will check what you've sent. I didn't even check any emails yet. I mean, it's just been a very busy morning here. So I will do that soon. Please grab your workbook. Have it nearby. If you have highlighters, if you don't, that's fine. But if you do, that's fine. If you grab some highlighters, and if you don't have that, just regular pencil will do. But we're going to do something with our...
I cut out my dance for the win.
So let's see, Anna's here. Anna, good morning. Kaylin and Camden and Cameron. Galen Sanchez, good morning. Uriah and Emma. Evelyn Fuller, good morning. I spoke with Izzy. Jordan is here, good. Hey, good to have you in our virtual class. Good morning. Cadence, I'm glad to have you too. Good morning. And Lillian and Michael. Where's Michael? Okay. Good morning, Michael. And then, of course, Miracle. Good morning, Miracle. And then Nikaya and Amari. I'm glad you're with us, Amari. And Renaj. Glad you're here. And Sadie and Sarah. Sarah V. And then V. And Zora. Glad you're here today. Look at what some others are joining us too here. Aiden and Chloe. So good morning, Aiden. Glad to have you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being early. If not on time, I appreciate it. And then Chloe is here. And now that's joining us. I'm going to get my roster here. Oh, Lily V is here. Good morning. So good morning, third hour. You'll need your workbook and you need some highlighters. Desmond is here for a crayon. Aiden, is that you? All right. No, that's Nikaya. Okay. Nikaya, good morning. All right, glad you're all here. As we get started, I'm going to start recording too. There we go. So it is time to start. Our countdown is counted down to this moment to start our class. So I'm glad to have you all. Oh, what is that? This is not a tomato. This is not a tomato. This is a persimmon. I thought about you guys the other day, and I said, let me bring a persimmon to class. And so I've done that. And it's very heavy. It's dense. It tastes like apple dipped in mango juice. A touch of cinnamon. That's just where I perceive it. You might think differently. But this is a persimmon. And what is the native word in Louisiana for persimmon? Well, the word is Plaquemine, right? Where we get Plaquemine Parish, or the town of Plaquemine. But this is a persimmon. Look at the leaf. That is not a tomato. All right, let's get to some other learning too. Learning about Louisiana. Today, our question is, the overarching question over the whole class period. Have this in the back of your mind for the whole class period. How can we describe the historic tribes of Louisiana?
And now she got decups.
How do we describe the historic tribes of Louisiana? So if you have your highlighters, have those handy nearby, or colored pencils, or crayon. If you have none of those, just a regular pencil, that'll be fine too. And also your workbook. We need our workbook. So grab your workbook. And this is what I did in class. This was a great idea. I found another teacher. If you have at home like a little sticky note pad, right? We call these sticky note pads. You can take one of these, right? And if you put it where we have chapter 5, you put it where we have chapter 5 here, and what that does is connect the bookmark, always refer to it. Okay? So today we're going to go into chapter 5. Look how easy it is. Boom. There it is, and like a bookmark, okay? I say that, I did have one student, I was shocked by this. I was shocked. I had one student yesterday or the day before, I think, saying, Mr. Gilroy, when you refer to page numbers, these pages are not numbered. Well, 5 chapters now are numbering, okay? So, to be aware, these are numbered. And I was looking ahead at, hello, Sadie, good to see you. Did you have a question or anything? Or? I'm glad you're here, Sadie. And then Zora's here, and Xavier, like I said. Porter joined us. Hello, Porter. But as I was saying here, we have a bookmark for our workbook. If you have a question, Sadie, I hope I didn't cut you off there. There's Lillian, too. So good morning, Lillian.
I have a question.
Oh, okay. So we're all getting ready. We're getting warmed up for our class. And for those that were on time or early, thank you so much. Not just for me, but really it's a good habit to have. And I try to be here before that too. All right. I want to ask you to go to your virtual classroom. I'm just going to split my time with it. Spend a few minutes kind of warming up our thinking. And after we're done with the warm-up, I'm going to ask you to open your workbook. We're going to take a few notes today. And we're going to look at a chart of some of our historic tribes. Let me ask this question to a volunteer here. Here's the question.
No.
What is the one main difference between historic cultures and prehistoric cultures? What is the one main difference between the historic cultures and the prehistoric cultures? And Miles, I'm glad you joined us. Welcome. What is one major difference between the historic cultures and the prehistoric cultures? Chloe, what do you say?
The prehistoric cultures came before written history, but the historic cultures, we have written records.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you for answering that. So yes, that is correct. Now, the prehistoric tribes, they didn't just sort of start writing on their own, hey, this is who we are. It was the European explorers who came, and when we met them, they kept the records for them.
Ow.
All right. So let me give you here about a good 5. We'll start with 5 minutes. And if you head to the warm-up, I'm going to go to our virtual class. Just spend a little 5 minutes here. And then we'll come back together.
Another hoe.
Looking at our bell work, our warm-up.
Hold on, I'm gonna be AFK for a minute. I gotta do this bell work real quick.
Here's our bell work or our warm-up.
Lately I've been getting Becky. Radios and down and my rag still. Kodak Black, who they be talking about? That's the
Hey, Jaden. Alright. So we still have a few more minutes as we're working on warm-up here.
Kodak, what you? I want the wall, baby. The Fetty. Fall like spaghetti. Hot in here, though, about be hard, no got money. You can't get the Rari, I'd rather have a Chevy. That ain't filmed right.
Hey, you know what's crazy? When the bitch die, like, you won't never see them again. Don't need time to time when you know nobody. 3-5, I'm rolling and get my lungs right. It seem like a gunfight, one line, ain't no love light. All these bitches wanna fuck right. Don't need time to time when you know nobody. 3-5, I'm rolling and get my lungs right. It seem like a gunfight, one line, ain't no love light. All these bitches wanna fuck right. I'm a deep guy, thought real niggas never die. Gotta sleep tight, 'cause people ain't waking up now. I know my nigga made it heaven, I know it. Wish I could call the phone and tell him how it's going. And his block look good with every outfit. I wanna put my nigga on, but he ain't outfit. I got a feeling for a song, I just dropped it. Then when it's dark clouds, you just gotta let it rain. Gotta let it rain. Another nigga run up on me, I'ma let it rain. Before I love one of these hoes, I'ma love the pain. Ain't loving on no lane, double on the babe. Gang shit. Running when he came up. Running from the jail. Just be trying to catch a K. Don't live my Z, man. Rest up a motherfucking soldier, man. Never chasing Haitian, I'm telling you. This shit real. Double little baby.
All right.
Come on, lady.
So we
Damn
spent a
it.
few minutes here kind of warming up and thinking about that. If you didn't finish, you can kind of finish later too if you need to. And I looked at those this evening. For our roster here. Let me ask you this. So, would you turn in your... See, I just used my bookmark. See, would you turn in your workbook, look on page... Look on page 6. Look on page 6 in your workbook. We'll start there. On page 6 here, we're going to take a few notes here, and I'm going to show you page 6 too, So, and I've asked this at the beginning of class, what do we do with our highlights and our colored pencils or what have you? If you have those, if you don't, a pencil is fine too, or an ink pen. What I want to do is take a few notes here, describe some of the historic tribes, because remember, this is our question over our lesson today, the overarching question that we think and keep in the back of our minds throughout our session and our lesson today. How do we describe the historic tribes and the historic cultures of Louisiana? Because remember, for the last 2 days, we've been looking at prehistoric tribes, prehistoric cultures rather. And yesterday we looked at our poverty point, which is prehistoric. We have no written records as to why they built such a thing, and so forth. So, so on page 6 we'll take a few notes, but then we're going to get into the actual tribes. So if you look on page 7, your book might have to go sideways on this. On page 7, we actually have a chart that we're going to be looking at, and we'll look at the different characteristics and the different features of each particular tribe. And some of these tribes still exist today. Remember, here in Louisiana, we have 5 reservations. 5 reservations for the tribes that live here in Louisiana. And then, of course, as our chart spills over here, we may refer to our map too. Here's where our highlighter and our colored pencils come in. So you can kind of mark where they have settled and lived as tribes. It's really interesting to see where they live. Okay, so let's get on with it. I'm going to go ahead and split the screen here, and we'll go with some of our notes on page 6, and then we'll shift to page 7 later on too. There we go.
I'll be right back, stream.
There we go. There we go. All right. So these are the 5
Alright, I'm gonna be AFK for a second. I have to take some notes.
Those that live in the forests and jungles around the world. But back then, again, they were prehistoric. They did not keep records. So they handed down orally traditions and stories of their tribes, of how they viewed the world. When the first Europeans arrived, they began making written records.
Alright, stream, I'm back.
Life and customs of the native people that they encountered. So this is where we see these written records marking the shift from prehistoric to historic culture. So now we're getting into history and written records. So the Europeans wrote the records down for these natives, thus making them historic tribes now. The very first European that we have on
Alright, give me a second.
That came into what we call Louisiana today. His name is Hernando.
What the fuck?
Hernando de Soto, or we say in English, Hernando de Soto. And what's interesting is, if you follow the path that he took from Cuba, he goes through what we call today Florida and Georgia and the Carolinas here. And if you were to go right in here,
I'm back.
here's near Memphis today. If you go here in Mississippi, before you cross over into Memphis, Tennessee, you have Hernando, a town of Hernando. You have DeSoto, town of DeSoto, Hernando County. Where am I switching those to? Then, of course, over here we have DeSoto Parish. So we have a parish named after this Spanish explorer. The Spanish were the first to come. The Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto and his men explored the southern region of the modern United States, including today's Louisiana. However, these Europeans unintentionally
Immunity.
spread disease, such as influenza, such as smallpox, that the native had no immunity to. Sadly, over the next 2 centuries, these diseases caused the death of nearly half of the native population. So diseases, they're being spread. Well, then the French would come along, okay? So if you remember, the Spanish and the French are competing to claim land in the New World. And so were the British too.
French.
But in this area of North America, it was the French and the Spanish. Well, around 1700, the French had begun to explore, technically speaking, or to be more precise, really
Epidemics.
1699, and they settled the area that is Louisiana. They often encountered abandoned villages. So when the French came along these areas and found abandoned, totally emptied villages, they did not understand that the entire village had been wiped out by epidemics brought by the Europeans. Remember how we defined the term epidemic? And despite the number of natives that had disappeared due to diseases, the French settlers and explorers managed to identify, I mean, not everyone was killed, but they managed to identify a number of native tribes and recorded their names. So, for example, if you read some of their first descriptions, the French will name the Alabaman, the French will name the Natchez, the French will name the Baitula, the French name Catahoula, for example, all these different tribes here. When the French arrived, they encountered the native tribes of Louisiana, wrote their names down, and began to trade goods with them. Pots, blankets, and guns. As you can imagine, these items changed their life for the Native Americans. So the Europeans brought diseases that they were not immune to, brought guns, pots, blankets, and a gun shoots a bullet, and a bullet travels faster than an arrow. So you can imagine this gave them power and control over other tribes and so forth. Alexis, how can I help you? There we go.
Thank you, Alexis. Come in clutch so I can actually finish this freaking race. Until I'm do. Eat your bitch back down. I'ma get the whole Mac down. Smackdown. I'm talking about eat your bitch down. On a job. While him on a job. I know law. Eat your bitch face up.
Alright. So while she's getting that too, I want to ask this question to someone else. What do we call that type of economy where the natives traded with the French?
I got it.
Okay, thank you, Alexis. Zora, what do we call that type of economy?
Traditional.
Exactly. Traditional. So they began to trade goods with them, and they traded guns, pots, blankets, hatchets, jewelry. What else, Alexis? What you got? Got it? Okay.
I forgot to put my hand down.
Oh, that's okay. Well, but the natives used it, and this is what you just discovered here. This is what you just described accurately, too. Natives used a traditional economy where they traded for the goods they needed. They settled near rivers and simple canoes for travel and trade.
Oh shoot, traditional.
And we saw yesterday where the mounds were built near rivers and bayous and smaller rivers. Okay?
Warriors, housekeepers, tattoos.
So, the French would also settle near the rivers and bayous. Men were typically the warriors and hunters in their society, and women were typically the gatherers, the cooks, the housekeepers, and took care of the children. Clothing and styles of the natives included breech cloths,
Jigga, I do it.
private tattoos, jewelry, and mohawks. So you can imagine, if you remember last year's American history course, same thing, but only this is more localized to what we call today Louisiana.
Fuck.
Now, does anyone need me to pause for just a minute, or may I go on to the next slide? All right, so just like I've asked you before with the prehistoric tribes and cultures, I'm going to ask you these 4 themes concerning these tribal groups. So, for example, geography. How does this play an important role in the natives unit? What are some significant geographical features? Keep those questions in mind too. Culture. What is the culture of the natives? We're going to answer these questions as we go on here. What type of economy was used in the native unit? And of course, what type of government they used. So now we get to go to our chart on page 7. And you may have to turn your book sideways, your workbook sideways. And I'm going to turn my workbook sideways too. With the tribal name. And the name was the Atakapaw. And the tribal name means man-eaters. It means man-eaters. They settled near Calcasieu, what we call today Calcasieu Parish, or along the Calcasieu River. And they were believed to be cannibals. That's why they were called man-eaters. That's an additional fact.
Nuts.
Now, if you flip over the chart, page 8, really quickly, we will come back to page 7. If you look on page 8, if you would highlight the Calcasieu River or Yeeyee, just label it if you want, you know, or both, wherever you want to do it.
Oh.
This is where the Atakapaw settled.
The sun's looking on star.
Yes, I feel that.
I know you
That's
want me
okay.
too
Thank you for
hard,
letting me know.
but it's like
But this goes into our chart, and this will help you organize your characteristics of the historic tribes.
getting lucky till the sun came up.
Ariana, you got it? What you got?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was sorry.
Okay. That's fine. Are you ready for me to go on? I'm going to go on here. They settled along the Calcasieu River. There's Calcasieu Lake.
Right.
So right in this area here. These were the Atakapaw. And what you'll see is they kind of spread out as they lived. And you'll see in some old maps, this is probably Atakapaw. And our next group on page 7, you see our chart here, we have the
Caddo. True chiefs.
Caddo means true chiefs. They were some true leaders, some true chiefs.
Red River.
They settled near the Red River. More towards Shreveport is where they settled near the Red River. And they traded salt for horses. They were known for their good trading skills. They were good at trading. They were known for that. And they traded salt for horses, for example, and other things. They were famous for their pottery. Not their basket weaving, not their doll making. They're famous for their pottery. They were really known, too, for their beehive-looking houses. Here's an example here. So more than just a tent, their house, which is a little more permanent, there. Now, the Caddo natives lived in northwest Louisiana in what we call Shreveport today. If you were to go to outside of Shreveport, just outside of Shreveport, they have Caddo Lake. But the original tribe there was pushed off into Oklahoma. They were pushed off into Oklahoma. Today you can see Caddo County, for example.
Right in the suburban, just Cody and had a young swerving. I got the mop, watch me wash it like detergent.
Caddo means true chiefs, and they settled near the Red River. And they traded salt for horses. They were very good at trading. They were famous for their pottery. Not the best food, the pottery. And they built beehive-shaped houses, and they still exist in Oklahoma. They're essentially in Oklahoma today.
No money in the streets.
In
I was
fact,
so low
this
in
is
that
where
ice.
they started off, right at the beginning. So they lived here on the Red River, in this area
Standing
here.
at the beginning, cop car with the pistol on my hip like I'm a cop. Rock star. This ain't no guitar, but it's a block.
And our next tribe is the
Thoroughly
nation of the
red people.
Chitimacha. Say this to yourself, Chitimacha.
Shinamacha.
And this means thoroughly red people. They call themselves the Red People.
Brown, red, and orange.
They settled near the Atchafalaya River and Bayou Teche. This is their emblem here with the cypress tree. Some additional facts. They're the first Louisiana tribe to be federally recognized, by the federal government. And that's a big deal because that's really important for them because it gives them that status, an official status. It gives them a status, and it would also help them with federal assistance as they may need. But they're first to be federally recognized. They're famous for their river cane baskets that are woven so tightly that they can hold water. But this is from the river cane leaves. These are from the river cane leaves. So Chitimacha means red people or thoroughly red people. They settled near the Atchafalaya and Bayou Teche, which is over toward New Iberia, all the way up to Opelousas. And they're known for their river cane baskets. Look how beautiful. This is where they settled, and down in here. Kind of this whole region here.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Are they glad to do well? There you go. All right, thank you. Well, I want to get into the Choctaw now. Now we're getting to Choctaw, and their name comes from one of their leaders, whose name was Choctaw. See, here we go, Choctaw. That was their legendary leader, kind of a significant leader for them back in their history. And their symbol, or we can say their totem, is this turtle. And their totem, or their symbol, is their turtle here. You can see that. And they settled near the Pearl River. And they kind of, they settled near the Pearl River and spread out from the Pearl River, even out towards Baton Rouge. And even north of us. How many of you guys have heard of like Choctaw Drive?
LA tribe.
Baton Rouge, for example. Some additional facts. They're the second largest tribe in southeast Louisiana. They played a game called Tole. Here they are playing it here.
Allies of the French.
They were allies of the French. So when the French explorers came, they helped, the Choctaw helped the French, and the French really helped the Choctaw. And sometimes the French and the Choctaw would get together and fight against the British. One of the tribes that was forced out during, this was one of the tribes of Choctaw. Think of the other tribes that we don't have here in Louisiana, that they were forced to march the Trail of Tears. If you remember last year's American history lesson under President Andrew Jackson, many tribes were forced to walk through Oklahoma. Many dying along the way. So this was called the Trail of Tears. And the Choctaw were also pushed out and forced out. Some were here and settled here along the Pearl River. So there's the Pearl River, to remind you. Settled here. And they kind of were throughout this region here. So far we've discussed the Takapa. So far we've looked at the Takapa, Chata, the Caddo was split over into other folkloric texts today. And we looked at the Chitamacha.
Oh crap.
Choctaw.
Got freaking cops on me. I was about to take more notes. Last night was a Burma weekend.
And this is our next tribe, the Kashada.
Great, another freaking tribe.
Their totem talks about, or their symbol, their totem talks about the deer, the panther, the beaver, the bear, the turkey, the bobcat, and the daddy longlegs. Their tribe, Kashada, means white cane people. White cane people. And they lived and settled near the Sabine River and the Calcasieu River, right in that area. They're known for their weaving as well, baskets and pine straw animals. So they weave baskets, but their animals are made from pine straw. Here is a chicken or a turkey, but I've seen like an alligator one too, like this. A wonderful animal, basket animals. And the Kashada are also federally recognized. They're recognized by the federal government.
Alright, let's get these cops off of me. Damn it. Oh shit. Fuck.
And this is where they settled. So we have the Kashada, Caddo, Takapa, Chitamacha, Choctaw, Ariana?
Can you go back on my phone?
Sure.
Yes sir, Ariana coming in clutch. Damn it! Fuck. Oh! Fuck no, I'm not getting busted.
The question is, who is next? You ready? Alright. How about the Homa Indians? Homa. And this, the word Homa.
Come on, go, hurry up so I can freaking take these stupid notes.
Okay. And so their symbol, their
Got him.
totem, is a crawfish. Right? They settled near the Mississippi River and later on moved to Bayou Lafourche. Additional facts, they used a red stick to mark their territory. Look at the word Homa. You see the root word, O-U-M-A, H-O-U-M-A. So we have Homa and Isti, which means red. Isti Homa means red stick. Or we say in English, Estruma. So Estruma means red stick. And they lived by the Mississippi River, and they marked their territory with a red stick. On the other side was the Bayou Gula. And the Homa natives did not want the Bayou Gula to go into their hunting territory. So they put up a red stick to mark their boundary. How do we say red stick in French? Michael, how do we say red stick in French?
Baton Rouge.
Exactly. Thank you, Michael. We say Baton Rouge. So my question then is,
Mercedes.
which kind of explorer saw these red sticks and saw the Homa nation?
A
Which
French
kind
one.
of explorer? Zora?
The French.
Exactly. The French saw
Hey,
that,
Brian.
and the French marked it down, and so the name stuck. So in French, you say Baton Rouge or Baton Rouge, and in their language, they say Istihuma or
It's the
Istruma.
Huma. It's
And
the
of course, in
Huma.
English, we say red stick. And this is where we get the name Baton Rouge. The Homa are also known for their Spanish moss dolls.
Too drunk. Tell me what you wanna first go.
So they settled here, right in this area, and of course they settled down here. Here's where they had the Bayou Gula, kind of red stick. But then they were also forced to push down through
Excuse me.
parish. And we have here. So they started out
Excuse me.
here and were eventually pushed and moved down here.
Oh, I barely made that, but holy crap.
So we have the Kashada, Atakapa, Chitamacha, Choctaw, Homa.
Shit.
And we had other smaller groups out here too, other groups too, and some Homa even kind of spread out here now. And then we get to the Natchez. Hey Zora, do you have a question?
My cousin is half related to a Homa Indian. That's Homa Indian blood.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I bet some of their family might speak some Cajun French, or some French maybe? Yeah, the Homa, they're known for they picked up the French language as well. Kaylin, what is your hand up for? What you got?
Can you go back?
There we go. So thank you for sharing that, Zora. That's interesting. All right. So then we get to talk about the Natchez. There we go. And the Natchez, one of the explorers drew this picture. Okay. So the Natchez, they're named after where they live. And they settled right near the Mississippi River, and you can go to Natchez, Mississippi today and see where they live. That's really interesting.
How do you
I've been there
spy?
myself. I like to go to Natchez pretty often. Some additional facts. They had a great son. That was their leader.
Oh
The great
shit,
son.
I did not
Here
know
he
that was a
is.
thing.
That's the great son. But more than just their leader that was called Great Son, they actually had a whole hierarchy. They had a whole society with common laborers and some of the elite, some of the more wealthy. And to show their status, they had tattoos made on their skin. But it showed their status. So they had a hierarchy, they had a strong leader. And they also made corn husk dolls. They did not weave baskets out of pine straw or cane river leaf. They did not make pottery that we know of on a scale like some other tribes, but they were known for their corn husk dolls. But here's the sad part: in the 1720s, they were destroyed by the French. The French, well, actually, the Natchez thought that the French were taking some of their farmlands. So the Natchez attacked the French, and the French attacked back very hard and just demolished the Natchez. So there were very few survivors And those of you who did survive went into other tribes and just married into their tribes and blended in.
Forget it all. Your makeup is next to my toothbrush, but you never put it on the shelf. I'm asking you, baby, cause I'm tired of asking myself. Oh, we just a bad seat. Trying to get it while we can.
Now may I go to the next slide?
Yeah, you can, Miss Lily. Just a moment, I can. Our last call kiss, no one else in the kitchen, baby, tell me what it is, what it is.
So the Natchez settle around right in here. And here's Zachary, and it just takes an hour from Zachary here. Kind of drive up there.
Come on, go.
That's where they settled. Now, I'm aware of the time, and we still have like 5 minutes or so. And before we get to our next historic tribe, let's just stop at this point and pick up at this point tomorrow. Today, we talked about some of the
Fuck out of my
explorers
way.
and described some of our historic tribes with the Attakapaw,
Damn
the
it!
Shada, the Chitimacha, the Homa, the Choctaw, the Natchez, and even the Caddo. Okay.
Alright, stream, I gotta go to math and turn my camera on, so I'll get, I will pick up the stream whenever I finish this hour. It's 4th hour right now, but I still have to turn my camera on for French. So, I'll just stream after, alright?